Welcome to the next edition of the Budget Project. Today's description will be buying an apartment. When you move out on your own, you're going to need a place to live, and it's probably your biggest expense. Um, so you're going to have to find an apartment to live in, and usually it is an apartment, your first home, because you're just getting out on your own and you're just starting to earn money, so you can't really afford to buy a house yet. So most people live in an apartment. Oftentimes, when you get your first apartment, you'll have a roommate to share the costs because oftentimes when we start working, we're not really making enough to actually own our own apartment or rent our own apartment, that is. So, oftentimes, people will choose to have a roommate. For this project, you can decide to have a roommate, and we'll talk about that in a little while. To find an apartment, you can use one of those apartment guides that you get free at your supermarket on the way out, or you can use the website that's embedded in the project, and we will talk about that when we get there. One of the questions you're going to be asked about your apartment is if there's any utilities included. So we need to understand what utilities are. Utilities are the expenses for all the things that you have in your home, the conveniences. So heat would be an example of a utility, electricity, water, sewage. When you flush your toilet, it's got to go somewhere, and that costs money. So you pay for sewage. You pay for a home phone. You might pay for a cell phone. You might pay for internet, cable, Netflix, anything that you are paying for to have in your home as a convenience is really just considered a utility. So we will see that when we go to the budget project. So when I go to the budget project, you'll notice it's here. I'm going to come down to the second place here where it says apartment. When I open that up, I'm going to see the apartment page. It's going to ask me a lot of questions. So it's going to ask me, first of all, if I have a roommate. You don't have to have a roommate, but depending on the cost of your apartment and what your monthly salary is, your monthly net pay from your income page, you might not be able to afford your own apartment. You can tell me what your roommate's name is. You can make up a name. Your name could be your dog's name. You could be a roommate with a famous celebrity or famous singer. You could make up a name that's just a friend. It doesn't really matter who your roommate is for this project. It just means that you'll be splitting the costs of living with them. You're going to write in your property name. That would be the name of the apartment. The location of it will be listed with that. The cost per month. The square footage. Square footage is about how big the apartment is, and it will say that in the listing. Features are anything the apartment has for things that are great that might make it different from another apartment. What would make you want to live there? That would be called a feature. Sometimes an apartment will have a pool or a tennis court, or it has a workout room, or sometimes it has a clubhouse. Sometimes it'll have walking trails, or it has a dog park. Every apartment is different, and every apartment has different features. Utilities, sometimes utilities are included in an apartment. Most commonly, heat and hot water are often included, but it will say that in the listing. If those things are not included, it's going to cost you some more money to purchase those separately. Parking is sometimes included in your apartment, or if you want more luxurious parking, sometimes there is a monthly fee. It's important to note that when you're looking for an apartment, if you are a pet person, which I definitely am, then you're going to want to make sure you know what the pet policies are for your apartment. Some apartments don't allow pets, some apartments only allow cats, and some apartments will allow dogs. But you're going to have to check to see if your apartment matches your pet needs. In here, down at the bottom, this is your apartment cost. Your monthly rent is how much you pay to rent your apartment. That would be moved over here. The parking fee, if there is a parking fee, you would click it right here. Your pet fee, if there is a pet fee, would go here. Apartment insurance. Now, I'm telling you that apartment insurance for your first apartment is going to be about $17 per month. So all I'm asking you to do right here is to move $17 per month into this space here. I'm actually telling you the cost. Heat. If heat is included with your apartment, which you're going to have to read the listing, then you'll put 0 here because heat is already paid for as part of your rent. But if you do not have heat included in your rent, you will need to add $120 to this space. Electricity is not commonly included in your apartment, so I would be surprised if it was, but you will move the average amount of $60 per month for an apartment electricity bill. You will move that here. Water and sewer may be included, but if it's not, you're going to add $30 to the space. Internet. You can choose none if you're really not going to have the internet, although I don't know who could survive with the internet anymore, without the internet. So if you're not going to choose to have the internet, you can put $0 here. But if you are going to have the internet, you need to put $60 in that space. A home phone. Not everyone has a home phone. It's not necessary. But for some people, they like to have it. So you can choose none and put 0 in this space. Or if you decide to have a home phone, you're going to need to put $15 a month right here. Cable, you have 3 choices. You can get basic cable, which would just be a couple of channels. It's the local channels, and that would be $29 per month. If you're going to get premium channels, you're going to need to do $59 a month. And then if you want to add Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, things like that, you're going to have to add that in addition to it. So let's say you want to do premium channels for $59, but you also want to have Netflix. You're going to have to add $59 plus $10.99 to get your total here. Then you're going to add it all up. You can use the calculator or your brain to add all of these up, making sure that when you're doing cents, you're always doing 2 places to the right of the decimal place. When you're dealing with money, you need 2 places to the right of the decimal point. If you have a roommate, then you can take this monthly total and split it in half. That would actually be what you're paying per month for your apartment, and your roommate would pay the other half. That's going to go here, okay? And then it says put it in your budget sheet. Your budget sheet is going to be the last page of your budget project. Let's see, I can show you here on your budget project. Your monthly budget and reflections looks like this, and you're going to put in your apartment costs here. So that final apartment cost per month for you is going to go here. So if you don't have a roommate, it will be the full amount. If you do have a roommate, it will be half of that total amount. Okay, that goes here. Now, let's go back to the budget project and let's show you how to click the link. There is a link right here to find apartments. You're going to need to press Control and then click this in order to open it up. Okay, so then you'll see the apartments for rent in Nashua. For this project, we're going to stick locally because the cost of living locally is different from, say, Miami or Los Angeles, and we're going to go with Nashua. So you'll see a map of Nashua here with a lot of different apartment options. And if you scroll down the right-hand side, you're going to see a number of options visually. I'm going to choose Royal Crest Estate Apartments for this project, because I noticed that they allow dogs. And if you know me, you know that I'm a dog person. They also accept cats. This shows me they have air conditioning. There's washers and dryers available and parking. So I'm going to choose Royal Crest. You can choose what you'd like. When I open this up, this is where I'm going to get the description of the apartment. First things first, the name of the apartment is up at the top, followed by the address, and that is asked on your budget project. The next thing you'll need to find is the rent. Now, you need to decide, do you have a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, or a studio? If you have a roommate, you need to have 1 bedroom per person. We're not going to share rooms as adults. We're going to get our own bedroom for this project. So if you're going to live by yourself, you may want to get a 1-bedroom or a studio. A studio means that your bedroom is in the same room as your living room, and it's open to your kitchen and your dining area. It's just all one big room with 1 bathroom off of it. 1 bedroom, of course, would be a living area with 1 separate bedroom and a bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. You'll have to decide. Are you going to have 2 bathrooms? Do you want your own bathroom and your roommate has your own bathroom? Or would you like to share a bathroom? So you're going to pick the one that fits to you. And that's going to give you right here, let's say I get 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment. My rent is going to be in this area here. This is insane. I don't know why this somehow is listed as wrong. I don't think I have that. But you will basically take the average. Let's actually go into 1 bedroom. No, it's listed wrong there too. I don't know why they're saying $18,000. It doesn't make any sense. So let's use this as an example. So you're going to find the average between $1,200 and $2,500 for a student apartment. Your square footage is going to be listed here. So depending on what apartment you choose, it's going to be having a different size. Now, if you want to look at pictures, it's going to show you the maps. It's going to show you what the apartment looks like on the inside. I can see some of the features. I know it has a game room. It has a clubhouse. It looks like it has a pool. It definitely is an outdoor pool. If I look a little bit further, I can see some more features. It has a volleyball court and a tennis court. Those would be features. And I can also see some floor plans. So if you want to see the floor plans of what the apartments look like, then that's going to be fine as well. If you scroll down, it's going to talk to you about some expenses. So let's say that you want to have an assigned parking space. That's going to cost you $18 per month. If you want covered parking, it's going to cost you $95 per month. If you want parking inside of a garage, it's going to be $210 a month. I'm betting that regular parking would be just free, but that doesn't mean you're going to have the same space every time. It means you just have to fight everyone else for spaces. Looks like cat rent is $45 per month and dog rent is $45 per month. Down here, this would be all the features. You can read this to find out the features. You don't need to copy and paste this into your project. Just pick 3 or 4 features to put into your project. Here's some more unique features. Oh, they have a dog park. That's exciting. It talks about the policies, all of those things. All right, all of the features. So once you have that all done, you're just moving it right into your budget project right here. And you're moving it down into your budget project right here. And you're coming up with your total and putting it on your final budget project page for apartment cost here. Okay, so good luck with this. Take your time, find the right apartment, find the right roommate. Figure out how much it costs to live on your own in the real world. It's actually quite expensive. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll see you for your next part of your budget project. Good luck.